Hey everyone, welcome back to Vegan Outreach. I'm Kim from brownville.com, and today I am going to teach you how to make a delicious breakfast treat from my home country of Venezuela. These are spinach and tofu ricotta puff pastry triangles, which is what in Venezuela we call pastelitos. And these are so scrumptious, you won't believe how easy they are to make. We use store-bought puff pastry, so we basically have to add everything to a bowl and then fill up the puff pastry, and they will be so delicious. Let's get started. Since this recipe includes a spinach tofu ricotta, our first step is to steam some spinach. So what I have here is just a pot with a couple of inches of water, which we're gonna bring to a boil, and a steamer basket. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a lot of spinach in there. This is gonna wilt down to almost nothing. You won't believe it. So just make sure to pile it on. We're gonna bring it up to a boil and let that steam for anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. As soon as you see that it's wilted down, but it's still nice and bright green. And of course, if you don't have fresh spinach, you can also use frozen spinach. Just make sure to thaw it out really well and squeeze all of the liquid out of it, which is something we're also gonna do with this batch. Now we uncover the pot and we're gonna transfer those beautiful greens onto a colander, well, a bowl with a colander on top, because we're gonna squeeze all of the excess liquid. You're gonna see how much comes out. It's crazy. What you want to do now is take a wooden spoon or anything that you can press down on that spinach with. I'm using a measuring cup, and we're going to press as tightly as we can, as strongly as we can, so that all of that liquid comes out. And you'll see that a lot of it is coming through. We're gonna chop that spinach up in a second, but we're gonna get started with our ricotta first. And what's great about this recipe is you're really getting a 2-for-1, because this ricotta cheese, this tofu ricotta cheese, is something that you can use for so many other dishes. You can spread it on crackers, you can use it inside wraps or sandwiches, you can use it in a lasagna or inside cannelloni or manicotti. It's really, I mean, the sky's the limit with this, and it's so simple. You can make this ahead of time too, which is great because it really develops all of those flavors. So what we have here is a block of for super firm or extra firm tofu, and we're just gonna crumble it up with our hands into a bowl. Now let's add the rest of our seasonings for our little ricotta. So here I have some finely diced shallots, so really finely diced, and I love the taste of shallots, but if you can't find them where you live or you don't have them in the house, you can use finely diced onion. It's perfectly fine. And also some fresh garlic, really finely minced as well. We want this really teeny tiny, as small as you can get it. I'm also adding a bit of onion powder, some sea salt, and what I have here is a bit of lemon juice and also a little bit of that grated zest, that lemon zest. It really adds a powerful punch to this recipe, so all you need is a little bit. We're also going to use some nutritional yeast. If you're not familiar with nutritional yeast, it's a deactivated form of yeast. It has a very cheesy flavor. It's full of vitamins and minerals, really healthy for you, and it's just scrumptious. So just add that in. And last ingredient is some tahini. This is sesame seed paste, and it is going to add lots of creaminess. It's gonna help everything stick together. Really good. Now let's toss everything well. We're gonna chop our spinach and add it to the mix. Let's give that a toss. Make sure that everything is really well combined. And of course, we need to taste it and adjust the seasoning. If you want to add a little more lemon juice or a little bit more sea salt, feel free to add any seasonings of the ones that we used. And in the meantime, I want you to preheat your oven to about 425 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 220 Celsius. We're gonna grab our puff pastry and we're gonna make our little triangles. Let's give it a try. It's good. Now when it comes to buying your puff pastry, check the ingredients, make sure there aren't any animal products in there. Sometimes there could be butter, but in my case, all of the store-bought brands that I have found have actually vegetable oils instead of dairy. So it's really easy to find. And they all come in different shapes and in different thicknesses, so you have to play around with that. What I have here is one of the thicker puff pastries, and what I'm gonna do is roll it out until it's about half the thickness that I have here. Now, of course, if you have found one of the thinner puff pastries, you do not need to roll it out. So what I've done is I've kind of rolled it out into a square shape, and I'm gonna cut this into 2 large triangles, so right on the diagonal. And usually in a package of puff pastry, we'll get 2 of these sheets, and that's gonna be perfect for our 4 little triangles that we're making today. So now what we have to do is add some of the filling. We're gonna add it to the center and half of the triangle so that then we can fold it onto itself. Now we take this end and we simply fold, and of course we need to press almost like a little packet so that these points meet and none of that filling escapes. What I like to do is really make sure by pinching the edges together, and you can make a little edge by folding it towards the center. Once you've prepared your little pastries, we have to cut some slits in the top just to let steam escape. It's also gonna look very beautiful when you see those little specks of green coming through. So pretty. I put some foil to cover our pan, and we're gonna pop it in the oven. We're gonna bake it covered for 20 minutes. Then we're gonna very carefully remove the foil and bake it for 5 to 10 minutes longer. It's in that last period where you really need to keep a watchful eye, because it can really turn golden and then brown and then burnt really, really quickly. So just keep peeking back in after you've uncovered it. If by any chance your puff pastry isn't turning a golden color, you can always brush it a little bit with some soy milk, which will act as an egg wash, but really it's normally not necessary, and that beautiful puff pastry has all of the fat in it to make it nice and golden and beautiful. Look at that golden color. These smell so good. I still have some filling left over, so you can make another batch and do a couple more, or you can do teeny tiny ones. You can change the shape. You can do whatever you like with these. It's so easy, and of course that filling will also be perfect for any other recipe you might want to use a ricotta filling with. So this is so scrumptious. This is typical in my country for breakfast with a nice hot cup of coffee. You can have these for lunch, as a snack, however you like. So I hope you make these at home, and I'll be back really soon here at Vegan Outreach to teach you some more delicious recipes.